The Tesla Model Y is the hottest selling EV on the planet, but should it be? Today, we're gonna give you a full look at our Model Y, the pros, the cons, and everything we've done to it, and our overall opinion as to whether or not Tesla is still king of the EV. If you're in the market to get an electric vehicle,
You, me, everybody's ass around here.
this is the review video that you wanna watch.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel.
If you're in the market to buy an electric vehicle, or you're thinking about maybe getting a Tesla, then you're in the right place. This is the video that you're gonna wanna see. We are gonna tell you all about our Tesla Model Y, how much we love it,
Things we hate.
and we're also gonna go over kind of our view of Tesla and how it fares in the new EV market.
And would we do it again?
This is gonna be a completely honest review. We don't work for Tesla. Tesla doesn't pass. Tesla doesn't even have a referral program anymore. You're gonna get our brutally honest truths here in this one. This is our 2021 Tesla Model Y long-range dual motor. We have the third row version, which means we can seat 7 people. Our Tesla Model Y has about 35,000 miles on it, and we've owned it for about 2 years. If you're new to our channel, we are a family of 5. It is Michelle and I, and we have 3 boys, age 14, 12, and 7. And we use this as our daily family car. We've taken this car on a number of road trips, carrying our entire family of 5, plus all of our luggage. Speaking of which, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, because we do all sorts of awesome Tesla videos. We also cover other types of EVs as well, as we explore the EV market to see which is the perfect EV car out there. So first things first, let's give you a tour of the outside of our Tesla and improvements that we've made in the last 2 years to it. The very first thing we did when we got our Tesla Model Y was we switched out the badging. The normal badging comes as a chrome color, so we switched this out and we put on some blacked out badging. Links to all of this stuff, by the way, we'll put down below in case you want to pick up any of it. We did this to both the front and the back of the vehicle. The other thing that we did to the front was we had PPF installed on the front, which is paint protection film. We only had a full front. We did not have the entire car done. We had the PPF done at Menards Premium Detailing. They are absolutely amazing. We've done a bunch of videos with Grant and his team over at Menards. We installed an automatic front opening system.
Oh man, it actually worked.
It's super nice when it works. Now, coming around the car, we have also made some upgrades to our wheels. First of which is our brake calipers. We had them custom painted with our channel logo placed on there. That was also done at Menards Premium Detailing. And we also upgraded the suspension to the Unplugged Performance Luxury Coilover suspension. That was done by our friends over at Evolution Autosports. Joe and his team did an awesome job installing that, and that allowed us to have a little bit of a softer suspension that we can customize, as well as it allowed us to lower our Tesla as well. We tinted our windows as well as tinted the glass roof. That was also done at Menards Premium Detailing. We did 15% on the windows, and on the roof we have that set at 20%. We noticed when you take long road trips, even though it does come factory tinted, it still got warm pretty quickly. Since we've tinted the glass roof, we have no problem. Also on the roof, we have installed the direct from Tesla crossbars. The last thing that we upgraded was we added the performance carbon fiber spoiler. Now let's check out the inside of the car and all the things that we did in there.
The first thing that I think anyone should do is protect your screen. So we put a screen protector on here, and we've already had to replace it once. 3D makes really great washable floor mats. They not only are easy to clean, but they protect your car at the bottom. So this was something else. They have them for all 3 rows and the trunk.
This is raw footage, guys. This is not cleaned, obviously, but this is how well it does. It's got this like bowl shape, so it keeps everything contained, and then you just pull it out.
Moving on to the middle row, we did just a few things back here. Again, we have the floor mats here that help protect from spills, mud, dirt, all of that. From EV and car, we did these seat protectors. They still have a little pocket, but they just go right on here, and they protect the entire back of that seat that can get muddy, dirty, and just hit with anything along the way.
While we're on the topic of great things that you can do to your Tesla, I want to stop and take one quick second to say thank you to our longtime channel partner, 3D. 3D has offered to give away a free set, yes, a free full set of their all-weather floor mats for a Tesla Model Y. We talk about those 3D all-weather floor mats all the time on the channel. It's literally one of our top things that you have to have. Now, 3D doesn't just make those awesome floor mats. 3D also has a whole line of other great utility items, especially for the outdoors. They make some awesome extra storage, but they also make other great outdoor items that are great for camping trips. To enter the giveaway, it's very simple. Number one, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. So if you didn't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. Or number two, drop a comment down below and let us know what type of content would you like to see in 2023 from our channel. More stuff like this, some accessory videos maybe. Do you guys want us to talk about the latest Tesla news and upcoming things coming down the line from Tesla? Let us know what type of content you would like to see in 2023. So all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, make sure you're subscribed already, and drop a comment down below just telling us what type of content do you want to see in 2023. Thank you again to 3D, and thank you to all you guys for watching this video. Let's get right back to it. Owning a Tesla is a whole lot of fun, but owning an EV also means that you're gonna do things a little bit differently. What are some of the differences that you found when taking road trips in an electric vehicle, especially a Tesla Model Y?
Definitely planning ahead. It's important to know, is the hotel you're staying at going to have a charger? Is there a charging place that's close by your hotel or your house or your VRBO, whatever you're going to do? But definitely making sure you plan ahead so you know how are you going to charge your vehicle when you're at your destination. Also knowing that road trips take probably a little bit longer, because instead of stopping for that 5-7 minute gas fill up, you usually are stopping probably 15 to 20 minutes, I'd say. With that being said, the pros are the storage. We definitely don't have as much storage as we had in our minivan, but there is a lot of storage. There's storage under the trunk. There's storage in the front. If you don't need the third row, this folds down and you have a lot of storage here. Now, when we went to Myrtle Beach, we didn't have quite enough storage for all of our baseball equipment, catcher's gear, all of that. So we did use the tow hitch and we added storage to the back that way. The screen on your Tesla, when you put your destination in, has really been pretty spot on for us. So that is a plus. We don't have to plan and say, okay, on a map, and we're driving to Jersey, where are we stopping along the way? The Tesla takes all that thinking out of the way for you and tells you, I'm going to get your battery ready for you. Here's where you're going to stop. Here's how long you're going to be at the charger, assuming that there's no wait for a charger. But it predicts all of that for you.
It does add a little bit longer to your road trip. So for example, we have a huge road trip planned coming up very soon in March. If you're not new to the channel, you know we're huge Disney fans. We love to go to Walt Disney World. We actually convinced Michelle to drive to Walt Disney World. So we're gonna be taking our Model Y on a huge road trip down the entire East Coast. Our friends are gonna be driving their gas vehicle. So we're gonna kind of compare the length of time it takes between the two vehicles, but it does obviously add a little bit longer of a drive to your road trip. So you gotta factor that into things as well.
So the other nice thing is you know where you're stopping, so we will actually look ahead, and I would say almost every single place we've stopped, there's been some kind of place to eat. So we try to time our stops around whatever food is there. So we'll look, we might have to walk across the street to go to a restaurant or something. That has been helpful, is you know where you're going to stop so you can plan ahead as to what you're going to eat while you're there.
Now, I guess this one could hold true not only for our Tesla Model Y, but for kind of EVs in general. The cost savings and the efficiency of an electric vehicle is absolutely amazing. So let me give you some of our stats over our charging for the last 30 days. We have charged our Model Y for a total of 676 kilowatt hours. That was all charged at home. Here in southeastern Pennsylvania, our current charging rate that Pico charges us is about 16.5 cents per kilowatt hour. That gives you a total of $111.54 is what it cost us to fuel our vehicle over the last 30 days. Now, if we compare this to another SUV, let's say the Chevy Traverse, which is what we came from coming into the Model Y, the Chevy Traverse averages 18 miles per gallon. Now, here in Pennsylvania for the last 30 days, the average of gas was somewhere around the ballpark of $3.94 per gallon. According to to our Tesla Model Y, we drove approximately 1,400 miles over the last 30 days. So that would give us a total of $306 for the last 30 days in gas if we would have been driving our Chevy Traverse. So we compared the two, the 111 that we spent in charging compared to the 306 that we would have spent in gas driving a gas vehicle, we saved a $194 by having an electric vehicle for just the 1 month, as opposed to having a gas vehicle. Now that's just the day-to-day driving. That doesn't even include the difference in maintenance costs. There's no oil changes. Brake changes are extremely infrequent. In fact, in the 2 years that we've owned our Tesla Model Y, the only maintenance that we've had to do to it has been state safety inspections. Pennsylvania does require an annual safety inspection, which was about $35 each year, so a total of $70 over 2 years. And then we did have to have our tires replaced, because the one negative thing is with Tesla tires, you kind of eat through them really quick, especially with all that power and how you just kind of want to smash a gas pedal all the time. And they are performance tires, which means they do wear pretty quickly, but that's literally it. That's the only maintenance we've done to the car. Oh, and I think we did have to refill the washer fluid once, which is what, maybe like $5 at most. No oil changes, no brake pad changes, and no emissions inspection or any of that stuff. Not all EVs are the same, so that's where the Tesla Model Y, I think, comes into play. Some EVs don't have as good of regen braking, which means you will eat up the brake pads a little bit more frequent. The regen braking on the Tesla Model Y is unbelievable. EVs and the Tesla Model Y is super cost effective. So now we're at the point that everybody's been waiting for, the pros and the cons of a Tesla Model Y. First, let's talk about the pros. What are your pros about the Model Y?
The electric part of everything. It is so nice not going to a gas station or even a charging station the majority of the time. This month alone, I haven't been to a Tesla charger at all because we haven't needed to. I just plug in my car at night. So unless we are going on a long road trip or we're going to a faraway soccer game, it is really rare that we have to even stop at a Tesla charging station. As Chris had mentioned a few minutes ago, the regen braking, that's another huge pro. That one pedal driving, saving your brake pads, it also kind of makes you more conscious. Like I feel like I slow down a little bit earlier than I probably do when I just used a brake. For being such a small vehicle coming from a Traverse or a minivan, there's so much storage. I was really worried about that in the beginning. Now I feel like if I probably had the stroller that I used to have, a double stroller, that might be a little difficult in here, but overall there is plenty of storage for anything that we've really needed to do.
It's really deceptive. That trunk is enormous when that third row is folded down. But that's a very good point. If you're a younger family and you have kids with strollers are huge, but the sub trunk, if you pull the floor out and you have the sub trunk space, I think we did test at one point, didn't we? It'll allow you to put a stroller upright.
Yep.
So that, I mean, that will help with that somewhat.
In my opinion, the other huge pro is the technology piece of everything. So when you're even charging, there's Netflix, and they just added Apple Music, which we love. There's a ton of technology. As I had mentioned earlier, being able to put in your destination and it finds your charging stations for you, and it finds accurate ones, as Chris found out in a different vehicle that was not Tesla that sent him to a charging station that wasn't built yet. It's constantly being updated. It's constantly being made to be better. Dog mode now has a live video camera that you can see inside your car if you're going to leave your pet in while you go to Wawa or something like that. They're always looking and they're always making things better, and the updates come out all the time.
As far as my pros go, the vehicle itself is very nice. They did a very good job of including a lot of different features that you'll find in a lot of higher end cars. For example, the heated steering wheel, heated seats. It's nice that the second row has a heated option in it as well. The third row does not, but that's kind of the norm, so I think that that's fair. The chairs, the seats, I actually think the seats are super comfortable. It's like sitting on a cloud. It's actually kind of amazing. One of the biggest pros for me, and honestly, I think this is the home run hitter for Tesla in general, is the charge network. Tesla has literally been able to get rid of range anxiety altogether. When we first got the car, we had range anxiety. As a matter of fact, our very first road trip we took to Hershey Park, we had insane range anxiety on that one. And over the last 2 years, Tesla has just expanded the supercharger network that was already huge and reliable to begin with. At least around here, it feels like it's at least doubled, if not more.
And they're really all over.
There is no range anxiety if you own a Tesla. You never, ever, truly, ever have to worry about, am I going to get stranded without enough power? The Tesla charge network is hands down the best and the most reliable on the planet. You buy a Tesla, that charge network, it's got you covered. The other big pro for me is the technology in this thing. Elon, that's his specialty, is technology. And he hit a home run in this bad boy because the tech in this is absolutely insane. The way that the screen just functions the entire car and the UI on it and how you navigate it and move around is so intuitive. I feel like it's very Apple-like. The experience on the screen and how you navigate to different things. And the battery technology that Elon at Tesla has is by far better than anybody else. You can charge up to 250 kilowatts per hour. There's not very many non-Teslas out there that allow you to charge at those type of speeds. Most of them are limited to around 125, 150 kilowatts per hour. I also love how it's always improving over time, kind of like a phone. You get software updates that just continuously improve not only the user experience and that end, but it can even improve efficiency. We've gotten updates before that got us a few extra miles out of our battery. Like, that's unbelievable. Their tech is just so top end and so fantastic that I think it's worth giving the look to Tesla. The Tesla Model Y is also insanely fun to drive.
Oh my gosh, totally.
It's like an entire experience. It just goes. And not only does it go, but for a technical SUV, the thing corners unbelievably. I mean, it's fun to drive. There's no other way to explain it.
Another feature that is a pro, but I know a lot of cars are coming around with it too, is Tesla's autopilot. I was very nervous to use it the first time when I double clicked and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this car really going to drive for me? But it really does. The standard autopilot keeps you in the lane. It will not detect potholes, so you better be paying attention or else it'll drive you right through that pothole that's in your way. But it does. It keeps you in the lane. It stops. I feel like that's been an improvement too. When we first got it, I felt like it kind of jolted us a lot. I don't feel like I get jolted anymore. I love the autopilot and use it quite frequently on my driving.
When you're on a road trip, the stress of driving really takes a toll on you, especially if it's like a long drive. It almost alleviates, not all of it, but a lot of it. And I feel like it allows you to be able to drive in a longer shift. I don't know how to explain it other than you grip the steering wheel a little bit less tight when autopilot's driving.
Yeah, I do like the autopilot.
Now it's time for the cons. The bad part about owning a Tesla.
We just had the freezing rain and the ice and the whole car just froze over. Not being able to get in my car for an extended period of time without taking a hairdryer to it, having to climb in the trunk, that was a huge con. I just don't understand why the quality is just not awesome. You spend all this money for a car, and had we not wrapped it with Grant's help, your paint chips so quickly. Come on, Tesla, like, can we do something better with the quality? The third row, as much as I hate admitting it and hate saying it, the third row is great for around town. The third row is great as the kids are smaller. We now have 2 kids above 5 feet. And although our middle still loves a third row, he's 5 foot and a couple inches now. And I don't know how much longer he's gonna be sitting back there. The leg room is just not there. And the headroom, which is even worse, his head is gonna touch soon, which is why the oldest doesn't sit back there. We can still have our 7-year-old go back there. He's so tiny anyway. He'll be there for quite a while. But ultimately, as our kids are getting older, I don't know how much longer that third row is going to be useful. And other than that, I don't have many other cons.
So I think one of my biggest icks with the Tesla Model Y is honestly the build quality. Now look, I know that Tesla has gotten a real bad rap with their build quality over the years, but I do gotta say, as I have driven more and more different types of EVs, because we've tested them. I mean, I've driven Fords, I've driven Porsches, I've driven Nissan. As I've driven more and more, the one thing I'm quickly realizing is those other EV manufacturers out there, they know how to make a car because they've been making cars for like 50 years. Tesla's not really trying to be an auto manufacturer. They're really trying to be like the EV leader in battery and technology. They just happen to make the car because they kind of have to in order to push out their technology in the battery. The inside of all their vehicles, it's kind of cheaply made. I mean, outside of the normal problems that you hear about with panel gaps and things like that, all that still kind of exists. It gets a lot better over time, and honestly, I think some of that is a little blown out of proportion. The inside, they always seem to have little problems. Here's one example that I can give you. Our seat inside our Model Y, it creaks. We've had it for 2 years. When you sit and you drive and you take turns, it makes this creaking sound. And it's not just our Model Y. Every loaner that I've ever had from Tesla, which I've had Model S's and I've had other Model Ys, every loaner I've ever had, the seat has creaked. You're spending $60,000 plus, depending on the type of car that you get. It shouldn't creak and make little annoyances like that. Other little things that kind of, I think Tesla could improve upon. So, anybody from Tesla, if you're watching this, maybe write them on your to-do list. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Why in the world do we not have those? They're literally in every other manufacturer out there. It would also be nice if they could improve upon the range predictions. Teslas tend to use the EPA rating for their range and being able to predict how many miles you're going to be at when you get your destination and things like that. It's rarely accurate. Most of the other EVs are pretty close. Our Tesla, if you're going by the mileage marker on it, is usually off by a lot. We're at the end, the big wrap up and conclusion. Would you recommend the Tesla Model Y? And would you recommend a Tesla for somebody who's looking to make the switch from gas vehicle to EV?
Would I buy it again? 100%. For our family, for what we do, I love my Tesla Model Y. Right now, Tesla has the market for road trips, 150%. I would not take any other EV to Disney World. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't trust any other EV.
The Tesla Model Y is a great car. I'm glad we have it. I think the bigger question, would I recommend getting a Tesla over another vehicle if you're looking to buy an EV? Honestly, that's a really hard question to answer. I've been testing a lot of other EVs out there, and I plan to test a lot more over the course of this next year. The other EVs, they're impressive. The vehicles themselves are unbelievably amazing. What it always boils down to, though, every time I test a non-Tesla EV is the charge network. The charge network that's non-Tesla is not reliable. Electrify America, ChargePoint, EVgo, Volta, all of them out there. They're not reliable. Most of them charge at really slow speed, and they're just not reliable. When I was testing out a Porsche Taycan, Electrify America sent me to a charging stop that wasn't even built. It showed everything active. I planned an entire trip around this one charging station. And when you go on the app, it said, hey, yeah, everything was open and active. There was not a single charger that was installed. It wasn't even close to being
wrapped in plastic. I mean, how do you do that? How do you show a charging network like that? This is how you get around. It was crazy.
Right. That's really the big issue if you don't get a Tesla. Vehicle to vehicle, if you take the charging part of it out, which I know is kind of hard to do because it's an EV. Honestly, I think the non-Teslas are better built cars. They feel more like a traditional car. There's less of a learning curve, but the build is really good. You don't have plastics. You don't have gaps. You don't have broken pieces that break super easily just by touching them. Elon and Tesla has said that they plan on opening up their charge network to non-Tesla EVs. If and when that day comes,
I'm worried.
I don't think I would recommend a Tesla at that point. I don't think I could.
I don't know though, because again, it depends on what you're looking for. I personally like the tech. I like not having everything all over the place. I like the sleekness. I like that the whole front is pretty much just car. I like the technology, as I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of pluses, but I think when it comes down to it, yeah, the charging network totally is a game changer, and then you really do have to start test driving other vehicles, really looking at other vehicles, but right now Tesla has it hands down. I like the simpleness of the one screen. I love it.
There is definitely a simplistic feel to the Tesla, all of them.
Yeah, I love that part of
the
it.
entire lineup.
And anytime we've had issues, Tesla service has come to our house. It's really nice. They come out to your house, you schedule it, they do fix it right there on the spot, and then if it's too big, then you obviously have to go somewhere.
That's something I forgot to mention in the pro section. Even if I got to wait 2 weeks for an appointment, but to know it's going to happen in my driveway, I'll wait 2 weeks. That's not a problem at all. All I'm saying is, if Elon and Tesla do in fact open up the supercharger network, and any EV now has the ability to use reliable charging network like Tesla's created, Given that I've already tested several other EVs, I don't think I would buy Tesla Model Y. Maybe about $10,000 more, I would buy that Porsche Taycan. That Porsche Taycan was amazing. But there's a lot of other ones that are in the same price range as the Tesla Model Y. Mercedes EQS. Volvo has one that's in the same price range. There's a lot of them. And all of those manufacturers are notorious for making fantastic vehicles that are really good and really quality and what you would expect when you spend that type of money. I think Tesla really needs to improve the quality of the vehicle, but that's just my own opinion. Don't get me wrong, the technology is still amazing. It's still top of the line. Battery ability and functionality, still top of the line. Sky's the limit when it comes to Elon and the things that his crazy brain comes up with. So look, the Tesla Model Y is still a great car. There is our big 2-year review. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Me neither.
2 years, 35,000 miles.
Lots of road trips.
Lots of road trips in this thing. We hope that we were able to provide a little bit of insight for you if you're thinking about getting a Tesla Model Y.
And if you found this helpful, please smash that like button so other people know this is a great, helpful tool that you can use if you're looking for an EV in the future. And if you like videos about EVs, Tesla videos, tips and tricks, things like that, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss anything in the future.
Thanks for watching as always, guys. If you want to see our detailed review of the Tesla Model Y and all its features and functions specifically, go ahead and click the video right there. If you want to see our last video that we published, go ahead and click the video up there. And we will see you again in another one real soon.
See you soon. I'm not sure it is. Who's the tray by? Who are the floor mats by?
All the new Teslas come with the carbon fiber air filter now.
Oh. This is like, I can't turn it.